buttermilk crispy chicken? Let's find out.
It's probably the best sandwich I've ever had.
It's super crispy, but it's also really juicy.
So would you guys come back?
Yeah.
Of course, definitely. Well, here's our card. The location is on the back. It's McDonald's? What? What?
Oh, get out
No way.
Wait, seriously?
Try some buttermilk crispy chicken. It's right around the corner at McDonald's. Buttermilk.
Good morning and welcome to Ask the Coach here on WCLU. Joe Myers joined this morning, as always, by Glasgow head football coach Jeff Garmon to get us started this morning. Scotties went on the road to Campbellsville University, played for the first time ever in the Forked Bank Bowl there at the university, and the Scotties' opponent was Louisville Holy Cross, and it was a thrilling win for Glasgow as the Scotties scored a touchdown on a long touchdown pass with about a minute to go in the ball game. Glasgow also getting its first win of the year and the first win of the Jeff Garmon era here as the head coach. So, Jeff, first of all, congratulations on your first career win as the head coach here for the Scotties.
Thank you, Joe. It was an exciting way to get your first win. I was really proud of the boys and the effort that they gave and the determination and just the will to win there at the end. They weren't going to be denied.
Just talk about going into that last series. You guys got to stop defensively. You got the ball back with about a minute and a half or so to go in the game. Long way to go. I think got it back at your own 32-yard line. Kind of what was the mindset? What were you guys talking about on the sideline before you went out for that last series?
Defensively, we just kept trying to stay patient and kind of not panicking because I kept telling the boys that there was plenty of time left in the game there is that after they went up that touchdown, that all we had to do was just to get a stop and go down and score. And then after that, it was just going to be a matter of who could stop who one time, more than likely, I thought. I thought when we got that turnover down there at their goal line on I think Draven Pope may have batted the ball and Matthew Molden intercepted it. At that time, I thought we were still in pretty good shape, and we scored, and we had to stop them, we struggled. We got tired tonight as a defensive unit. Seemed like they had the ball most of the time. Either we were scoring in big plays or a lot of times we were 3 and out. And it puts a lot of pressure on your defense being out there. And I think we ended up playing 65, 70 plays tonight.
Yeah, the defense was on the field for 70 plays. Time of possession, almost 33 minutes to 15 minutes. Just a few seconds away from being that, and in favor, obviously, of Holy Cross. But your kids showed a lot of toughness, a lot of grit, I thought, to be able to hang in there, and because they had to be exhausted.
Oh, they were exhausted, and we had some boys banged up in the game, and they continued to fight through those injuries, and the fatigue set in. I didn't notice us cramping or anything like that. I noticed Louisville Holy Cross starting to cramp there late in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, and I thought our conditioning paid off there in the end. I thought we were a little more fresher than what they were there at the end, and I think that's just I think we played a few more kids than what they played, and it worked out to our advantage tonight.
You look at that last play, or not the last play, but the scoring play that put us ahead for good there with about a minute to play in the ball game, and Desi made a really nice throw down the left sideline, and Ben made an even better catch, stretched out one arm, looked like he just made a one-handed grab, and it's not like he was there by himself. There were a couple of defenders there with him. Desi had to put the throw between a couple of defenders. Ben makes the catch and has to break a couple of tackles to get into the end zone. It was just a really pretty play all the way around.
It was, but you know what? It didn't surprise me. I see them do it in practice every day. That's just just a regular drill that we do every day. Not necessarily being catching the ball one-handed and dragging two guys into the end zone, but just that's just a fundamental play that we work on a lot. Is throwing the ball deep and catching the ball over your outside shoulder, and Desi threw the perfect ball, and Ben made the great catch.
Let's talk about Desi's performance, Jeff. Desi, I thought, last week was okay, did not have his best game, but I thought last night against Holy Cross, he did a lot of really good things. He completes 11 of 23 passes, 276 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, took care of the football, did not throw any interceptions, did a good job scrambling around, keeping some plays alive, I thought, because he was under pressure a lot last night. What do you think about his performance?
I thought Desi played a whole lot better than he did last week, and he looked more like he did kind of in the scrimmage against Russellville. A quarterback in this system, it's tough. It's tough. There's a lot of pressure put on you to not only be agile back there in the pocket and move around and buy time, but you've got to be accurate in this offense. And there's going to be some short throws and there's going to be some long throws. And I thought Desi, really, really played well tonight.
And I thought used his legs well tonight at times too, Jeff, keeping plays alive.
Yeah, and that's important. I mean, and those are the backbreaker plays on defenses that, kind of when the quarterback gets out of the pocket and gets out on a rollout and or their defensive ends lose contain and the quarterback's able to buy extra time. That puts a lot of pressure on that secondary. I mean, and it's tough to defend.
We had talked in the pregame about with the type of defense that Holy Cross plays, a very pressing style of defense, that there were going to be opportunities for big plays, and you guys were certainly able to take advantage of that tonight. I know Dalvin Smith had a reception for 56 yards. Ben Hughes had that touchdown catch for 61 yards, and there were some other big plays that were out there for you last night.
Yeah, I thought our offense did a good job, and Desi did a good job of kind of spreading the ball around. I mean, we've said all along we thought our skilled players were the strength of our team, and that receiving court. Everybody on the field, I think, had a couple of catches, and when you spread the ball around like that, it just makes a big difference. We've got to just do a better job on first and second down, where we're not putting ourselves in such long yardage on third down to be able to convert, and by our offense being able to move the ball a little bit and move the chains and control the clock just a little bit, it gives our defense a chance to get off the field and get some rest. That's the two big things that has jumped out at me the first two games is, our defense has spent a lot of time out there on the field.
And the way you remedy that, Jeff, is just get first downs. Your offense, in this offense, you have to get first downs, right, because you're playing so fast. A quick 3 and out, you may only be on the field for 45 seconds as an offense if you don't get some first down.
Well, it's not going to be very often that we win the time of possession type deal. It's not kind of our deal. But then, in saying that, we've got to get the gap a little bit closer. Against Campbellsville, the gap was a little bit closer. I think there was like 5 minutes difference in the two in the two time of possessions. Tonight it was really lopsided, and I thought it really showed on our defense, especially in the second half.
Your skill kids, you talk about the fact that you feel like you think they're the strength of the team, and had some really athletic catches tonight out of your wide receivers. Griffin Murphy went up and made a nice catch. We already talked about Ben's terrific catch for that touchdown. Dalvin Smith made a couple nice catches. Your team, I really thought, showed its athleticism last night.
I agree with you, and we just got to be more consistent at it, I think. And we've got to get the ball out there in their hands just a little bit more. And a lot of it's got to do with the defenses we've been playing. We've faced a lot of guys up in our face, man-type things. And maybe when we see a team that's going to play a little more zone on the backside, it's going to open up more possession-type receptions.
Had some kids who had some really nice nights defensively too, Jeff. Numbers-wise, you had 2 kids, at least by our stats now, obviously unofficial, but we had Matthew Molden and Jasper Mundy both with 10 tackles on the night. I had Henry Harris with 9 tackles on the night. Matthew had a really big night with 10 tackles. He also had a couple of sacks and that interception. Josiah Moore had 7 tackles on the night. So had some good performances on that side of the football.
Yeah, we did. I thought Matthew Molden played really well, and I thought Draven and Steven played pretty well for the most part too. It doesn't surprise me with Jasper. I mean, he's one of our better defenders, and we expect those nights every night. But I thought our tackling was a little shaky overall for the night, And it's something. It's disappointing because it's something we spend a lot of time on doing. So I hope that's cures up a little bit this week, but the boys play hard, and if you play hard, as a coach, that's about all we can ask for.
Yeah, Stephen Franklin, we should mention 3 sacks on the night according to our stats, with 7 tackles. The tackling at times was a little shoddy. Evan Perry winds up with 231 yards rushing on 39 carries, had 3 touchdowns for Holy Cross. But you got to give that kid some credit too, Jeff. That kid is a shifty runner.
Yeah, and he was a little faster than what I anticipated, to be honest with you. We didn't get a real good look at it from our tapes that we watched, because one of the tapes, you couldn't hardly make out who was who, and the other tape, they kind of got behind against Owensboro Catholic early, and they had to quit running the ball and kind of started to throw the ball a lot more, which obviously we wanted to try to get them into throwing situations, and we just didn't get them into enough situations tonight.
We'll come back in just a minute. Look at the drive chart from last night's game. Scotty's winning at 24-20 over Louisville Holy Cross. We're back after this on WCOU Sports.